it's Erin here again, and today I'm going to be going over the kind of mental mistakes, the mental kind of blocks you can put on yourself as you go through your ketogenic diet quest. So for somebody that's new to my channel, my name is Erin, and I created Holistic in order to document out my own personal health and wellness journey. I am somebody that is on a ketogenic diet, and that is definitely working for me, and that has inspired me and motivated me to make this, whole channel and do these videos. So that being said, getting to this point, there's definitely a ton of mental things that kind of go on up in here that can make it so we're not successful on our ketogenic diet quest. So the first kind of mental mistake that we can make is expecting the kind of keto process to just boom, pow, start right away. And the thing is, you're asking your body to go from one way of fueling itself to fueling itself another way. And you have to go through a period of kind of adapting to that. And so your body might choose to kind of boom, lose a bunch of weight right away, or it might choose to hold that weight in until it's fully adapted. You're not going to know until you go through that process. The thing is, once you're on a ketogenic diet, you are going to burn, you are going to fuel yourself a lot more effectively, and so over time you will see that results. For me personally, I'm not seeing, a ton of scale changes, but I am seeing a lot of body composition changes, as well as just, mood improvement, mental clarity, better sleep. So being on keto, it's not necessarily all about the weight loss, but you do get a ton of other benefits. And as I get those benefits, I do see, more improvements and changes within my body because I am, sleeping better. I am more focused. I am, in a happier state of mind. And so yeah, it takes time. And so if you're curious about the fat adaptation phase and how to know and what kind of you'll go through, I'll link my video about that above, but I'm just gonna tell you that it does take time. So the other thing that we can do mentally to kind of derail ourselves is to just look at keto as a quick fix, to just be, I'm going to jump into this diet, I'm going to do it for, a couple months, I'm going to get totally thin, I'm going to get into my ideal body, I'm going to have the best health ever, and then, then I'll go and I'll add the carbs back in, but, I'll do it slowly so that way I don't gain the weight back. Keto should really be, a choice of an ongoing lifestyle. Once you choose keto, it should be something that you totally incorporate the principles of for basically the rest of your life, which sounds like quite the commitment. Now that I'm in this state, I couldn't even begin to imagine going back to eating the way I was before. I just have no desire for those foods, and it's really just kind of gone. The enjoyment of it, I now crave keto-friendly foods. And so over time, that lifestyle change will definitely be easier, but going into it, I don't think it's the best mindset to just look at it as a quick fix diet, a fad diet, a quick diet, I'm going to drop 20 pounds in 2 weeks diet. It's definitely not that. And if you go into it with that mindset, you will only end up being disappointed because, again, it takes a while to fully adapt, and your body is going through a change and you're asking it to change. The other mental mistake that's out there is also the I'm going to do it part-time. I'm going to do keto Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I'm going to go crazy. You're asking your body to go through a change to adapt, and then to unadapt, and then to adapt again, and then to unadapt again. You're going to feel like crap. I'm not referencing at this time, feed days. If you're somebody who's been on a long-term ketogenic diet and you've totally adapted and you start adding in feed days once a week or every other week or whenever it is you want to do it, that's completely different than I'm starting my keto diet and I'm doing it part-time. You got to fully commit. You kind of got to get over that hill of, I'll do it some days or I'll do it non-days, I'll do it whenever it is convenient and works for me. If I've got a party or I've got some sort of social event and I know there's not going to be keto foods there, I just won't be keto at that time. That's a bad mindset to be in, because what you end up doing is being on an extremely high fat and high carb diet, which is like disaster. So you got to fully commit. If you can't fully commit, try to find another diet or another way of doing things that's going to work for you, because keto probably won't. Another mistake that people make is they eat because the clock tells them it's time to eat. Don't eat because the clock tells you it's time to eat. Eat because you're hungry. Listen to your body. Get this up here to just listen to all this down here. Your body's going to tell you when it's hungry, and then that's a great time to go ahead and eat. Another thing that I'll kind of add on to this is intermittent fasting. If you've heard about, all the health benefits of intermittent fasting and you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna totally do this, you might choose to do it the true fasting way, or you might choose to do it through like bulletproof fasting. Either way, it doesn't matter. The thing about that is if you get into that state and you're like, I'm 18 hours into my fast, I've got like another 4 to go before I decide to eat, but I'm starving, just go ahead and eat. Like, literally, you're gonna set yourself up for a bigger, round of disaster if you try to postpone that eating because you're hungry. If you're hungry, eat. Your body is asking you for fuel. It's asking to be fed, so just feed it. That being said, don't go crazy when you feed it. Just eat until you're sustained, you're full, you've got the signals going up that you don't need to eat anymore, and then stop eating. Don't gorge yourself just because you were really, really hungry. Just kind of eat, assess, you're full, move on. Your body will tell you again when it's ready to eat. I think the people that are really successful in things like intermittent fasting are people that are really good at listening to their body, and they slowly work into that state. And that's the way I would go about doing it. So if you sleep overnight and the last time you ate was at 8 p.m. and then you wake up at 8 in the morning, you already did a 12-hour fast. And that's successful, so maybe just try pushing it an hour, and then an hour, and then an hour, and going until you're hungry. I think that is the way to really be successful and to kind of create a long-term ongoing pattern for intermittent fasting. I'm going to leave it at that. I could talk forever about intermittent fasting, but basically the mistake that people make is that they try to create a schedule, or they try to create a system of eating, or they follow the clock and they are not listening to their body, and they're not eating when they're hungry. Your body's going to tell you when it's hungry, and that's the time to eat. Another thing that can happen and kind of be a carryover issue from your previous diet is that you obsess about the amount of fat you're eating, or you get really concerned about it, or you're worried about it, and you're trying to, eat enough fat to kind of have it in there, but you're not taking it to the next level. It's really important to kind of figure out what your macros are for your overall goals, for if you're trying to lose weight, or what it is for your size, your body, your gender, all of that. So I would, use a good macro calculator. I'll link one that I use below, and just find out what your macros are, and then eat them, eat within them. The other thing that I would say is don't get obsessed about those macros. That's another mental thing that can definitely happen, and we become obsessed with the idea that, we must eat perfect keto all the time. And the thing is, with keto, the really important thing is to eat that low amount of carbs, eat a moderate amount of protein, and then eat a large amount of fat. You eat a moderate amount of protein in order to support your muscles, your tissue. Protein is incredibly important in that, but if you eat too much protein, it can be converted into glucose, so you don't want to eat too much. So it's really important to find out what your macro breakdown is, but then don't obsess about it. The only thing that really matters is keeping that carbohydrate amount low and in the range that you want to keep it in. So kind of touching on that intermittent fasting point is to not base your diet around the success of others. If somebody is doing something and it's totally working for them and they're seeing crazy results, don't obsess about the results they're getting through that diet and think that's the only way you can do it. You can choose to kind of eat and choose different foods that work for you, and choose a time and a schedule and a way of eating that works for you. And it's really the importance in any diet, in anything, and getting it past mentally, is that your success is really driven by you listening to your body and finding a rhythm and a pattern that works for you. And so don't obsess about other people. Don't obsess about what they're doing, because if they're doing it right, they're really just picking choices that are best for their individual body. And the last one that I'm going to throw in there, because it's my favorite, and that is don't obsess about the scale. If you're not seeing the scale move, track your body, track your changes other ways, through pictures, through measurements, through the feeling of your clothes, and then just the feeling overall of your body in general. You can see things and changes that the scale can't necessarily pick up. I am somebody that is a huge, huge representation of why the scale is such a joke and doesn't capture everything. I have lost only 10 pounds, but this is what I looked like prior to keto. This was my pre-tummy picture, and this is the other day, and I posted this on Instagram, and I am seeing huge changes. And this is only after 80 days of being on a ketogenic diet. So don't completely rely on the scale. Don't let it get you blocked up. Rely on other things. So these are my tips, my things, my kind of avoid these things to have great mental success on a ketogenic diet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, because that does support my channel. That does let me know that I'm putting content out there that you guys enjoy. And if you're somebody who is new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, because I do put out videos very regularly, and they are, you know, if you got this far and you enjoyed this video, you will enjoy my other videos too. So again, until next time, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is going great, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.